Hey there. So I just got back from spending some time with a brand new 2026 Subaru Forester Wilderness, and oh my goodness, I am genuinely excited to tell you about this thing. Like seriously, if you've been waiting for Subaru to really step up their game with the Wilderness lineup, this is it. This is the moment. You know, I've been following the Forester for years now, and when they first introduced the Wilderness trim, it was good, don't get me wrong, but it felt like they were holding back a little bit. Well, not anymore. The 2026 Forester Wilderness is like Subaru finally said, you know what, let's give these adventure seekers exactly what they want and then some. First things first, let's talk about what immediately catches your eye when you see this thing. The exterior design has been completely redesigned, and I mean completely. They've given it this striking new grille and headlight design that just screams rugged adventure. It's not trying to be pretty in that suburban mall crawler way. It's purposeful, it's bold, and it looks like it belongs on a trail somewhere in the mountains. Those 17-inch matte black off-road wheels, they're not just for show. They're wrapped in Yokohama Geolandar all-terrain tires. And let me tell you, these tires are serious business. I've used Yokohama's Geolandar tires on other vehicles, and they just grip everything: mud, rocks, loose gravel, you name it. The fact that Subaru is putting these on as standard equipment tells you they're not messing around with the off-road capability here. And speaking of not messing around, they've completely restyled the protective lower cladding. It's not just plastic trim that looks tough. It's actually functional protection for when you're crawling over rocks or brush. I really appreciate when manufacturers make design choices that are both functional and look good, and Subaru nailed it here. Now let's get inside, because this is where I was really impressed. The cabin has been redesigned with these soft-touch materials that feel genuinely premium. I know, everyone says their materials are premium these days, but when you actually touch these surfaces, you can feel the difference. And the StarTex upholstery? It's water repellent, which might not sound like a big deal until you're coming back from a muddy hike or your dog decides to shake off in the back seat. Trust me, you'll appreciate it. But here's something that really caught my attention. They've got this massive 11.6-inch high-resolution touchscreen now. I mean, this thing is huge, and the resolution is actually impressive. I've used infotainment systems that cost way more and look way worse than this. Plus, they finally got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration. Finally, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten into a vehicle and just been frustrated by having to plug in my phone every single time. Oh, and wireless device charging is standard too. It's one of those features that once you have it, you can't imagine living without it. Just toss your phone down, and it starts charging. Simple as that. Now, let's get to the heart of what makes this thing special, the off-road capability. Under the hood, you got Subaru's revised 2.5-liter Subaru Boxer engine, making 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Now, I know what you're thinking. 180 horsepower doesn't sound like much in 2026. And you're right, it's not going to win any drag races. But here's the thing about the Boxer engine. It's all about that low center of gravity and how that torque is delivered. The torque is now available at a lower RPM, which means better responsiveness when you're crawling over obstacles or trying to get moving from a dead stop on a steep incline. It's paired with Subaru's Lineartronic CVT, and I know CVTs get a bad rap sometimes, but this one has been revised with shorter final drive ratio specifically for the Wilderness. What that means in real-world terms is better low-end grunt when you need it most. And of course, you get Subaru's legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive system. This isn't some part-time system that sends power to the rear wheels when the front slip. This is full-time all-wheel drive that's constantly managing power distribution. Combined with those Yokohama Geolandar tires, the traction is just incredible. But here's where things get really interesting: the ground clearance. They've increased it to 9.3 inches, which might not sound like a huge jump, but when you're out on the trail, every fraction of an inch matters. I can't tell you how many times I've scraped something because I was just a little bit too low. With 9.3 inches, you can clear larger rocks and obstacles that would stop other vehicles in their tracks. The approach and departure angles have been improved too. The approach angle is 23.5 degrees and the departure angle is 25.5 degrees. What this means is you can go up and down steeper inclines without scraping your bumpers. It's the difference between being able to tackle a trail and having to turn around. Speaking of protection, they've included a front skid plate as standard equipment. This isn't some thin piece of plastic. This is real protection for your engine and transmission when you're going over rocks or rough terrain. I've seen too many people damage expensive components because they didn't have proper skid plate protection. Now, one of my favorite features is the enhanced dual function X mode. This system has two settings: snow, dirt, and deep snow mud. What this does is optimize the traction control and power delivery for different conditions. In snow dirt mode, it's perfect for loose surfaces and moderate inclines. But when you switch to deep snow mud mode, it completely changes the character of the vehicle. It allows more wheel slip, manages the power differently, and basically turns the Forester into a completely different beast. I tested both modes extensively, and the difference is remarkable. In deep snow mud mode, this thing will just keep clawing forward when other vehicles would give up. It's like having two different vehicles in one. The roof rails have been upgraded too, and they're raised specifically for better cargo carrying capability. They can actually support a rooftop tent, which opens up a whole world of camping possibilities. Imagine being able to drive to some remote location, pop up your tent right on the roof, and you've got an instant elevated campsite. It's pretty cool when you think about it. Now, let's talk fuel economy because I know that's on everyone's mind. Subaru hasn't released official EPA numbers for the Wilderness yet, but based on the regular Forester models, which get about 26 miles per gallon city and 33 miles per gallon highway, you can expect the Wilderness to be about 3 to 4 miles per gallon, less due to those aggressive all-terrain tires and the different gearing. So we're probably looking at somewhere around 22 to 23 miles per gallon city and 29 to 30 miles per gallon highway. It's not hybrid territory, but for a vehicle with this much capability, it's actually pretty reasonable. The suspension has been specifically tuned for improved stability and comfort both on and off-road. This is something Subaru really worked on because the previous generation Wilderness, while capable, could be a bit harsh on the pavement. They managed to find a balance where it's still capable off-road, but comfortable enough for daily driving. Safety-wise, you get Subaru's EyeSight suite of safety features, which is really robust. We're talking pre-collision braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, all the stuff that makes highway driving less stressful and helps prevent accidents. One thing I really want to emphasize is how this vehicle feels when you're actually using it. It's not just about the specs on paper. It's about the confidence it gives you when you're out there exploring. There's something about the way the all-wheel drive system works, combined with that ground clearance and those tires, that makes you feel like you can tackle things you never thought possible. I took this thing on some pretty challenging trails, rocky creek crossings, steep muddy inclines, loose gravel switchbacks, and it just handled everything with this calm confidence. The X mode system really shines in these situations. You can feel it managing the power and traction in real time, and it rarely feels like it's struggling. The only real downside I can think of is that 180 horsepower figure. If you're used to more powerful vehicles, the acceleration is going to feel a bit leisurely. 0 to 60 takes about 8.6 to 8.8 seconds, which is definitely on the slower side. But honestly, when you're using this vehicle for what it's designed for, getting to remote places and tackling challenging terrain, straight line acceleration isn't really the point. What is the point is capability, reliability, and having a vehicle that you can trust to get you there and back. And on all those fronts, the 2026 Forester Wilderness delivers in spades. So who is this vehicle for? If you're someone who genuinely gets off the beaten path, if you camp, if you hunt, if you fish, if you explore, this is your vehicle. It's not for people who want to look tough at the grocery store. It's for people who actually use their vehicle's capabilities. The boldest adventures really are within your reach with this thing. Subaru has created something special here. A vehicle that doesn't compromise on capability but still works as a daily driver. That's a pretty rare combination, and they've executed it really well. The 2026 Subaru Forester Wilderness represents everything the Wilderness family is supposed to be about: real capability, thoughtful design, and the confidence to go anywhere. If you've been waiting for Subaru to really nail the adventure vehicle formula, your wait is over. This is it.